Welcome to the Sisyphean Stone. Today we delve into F. Scott Fitzgerald's masterpiece, The Great Gatsby. Before we start, I'm curious to know how many of you came to know about this book through Haruki Murakami's Norwegian Wood. F. Scott Fitzgerald is a quintessential writer of the Lost Generation, often paired with Ernest Hemingway as the twin luminaries of that era. Born in 1896, Fitzgerald's growth and creative journey are closely intertwined with the dramatic changes in American society in the early 20th century. His life itself was a drama, filled with the sweetness of love and the ups and downs of his career. The Great Gatsby initially didn't receive widespread acclaim, but over time, it gained recognition and eventually secured its significant place in American literary history. Fitzgerald's life and work, like Gatsby in his writing, are filled with the pursuit of dreams and the struggle with reality. The 1920s in America was a period of contradictions, later referred to as the Jazz Age or the Prohibition era. Marked by the end of World War I, this decade saw unprecedented economic prosperity in the U.S. Rapid industrial development, urbanization, and the spread of automobiles, movies, and radio completely transformed the American lifestyle. Against this backdrop, American society underwent profound cultural and social transformations. The younger generation began to pursue freer lifestyles, women gained more rights, and jazz music and dance became the new fashion. However, the era wasn't just about prosperity. The 1920s were also the famous Prohibition period in U.S. history, a policy intended to curb moral decay, but ironically gave rise to speakeasies and organized crime. The rapid economic growth masked deeper social issues, such as increasing wealth disparity and persistent racial discrimination. These contradictions created a complex backdrop of challenges and opportunities. The Great Gatsby was born against this backdrop. It not only depicted the prosperity of the 1920s in America, but also delved into the vanity, deception, and tragedy hidden beneath its glamorous surface. The Great Gatsby revolves around the mysterious millionaire Jay Gatsby. The narrator, Nick Carraway, is Gatsby's neighbor, who recently moved to West Egg, a suburb of New York. Nick quickly becomes entangled in the local social circle. His cousin Daisy Buchanan and her husband Tom live across the bay in East Egg. Gatsby is famous for hosting lavish parties, attracting a plethora of upper-class individuals. Nick discovers that despite the grandeur of his parties, Gatsby often remains alone, appearing lonely and mysterious. Later, Nick learns that Gatsby and Daisy had a romantic relationship years ago. Gatsby has never forgotten Daisy. All his efforts and parties were to catch her attention. Gatsby asks Nick to help him reunite with Daisy. Under Nick's arrangement, Gatsby and Daisy meet again at Nick's house, reigniting their past affection. Daisy's relationship with Gatsby heats up but also triggers a series of complex emotions and events. Tom begins to suspect Daisy's infidelity and discovers her affair with Gatsby. On a sweltering afternoon, the tension between Tom and Gatsby finally explodes, and Daisy is forced to choose between her husband and lover. Tragedy strikes in a car accident, where Tom's mistress Myrtle is killed. Although Gatsby tries to cover for Daisy, he is ultimately mistaken by Myrtle's husband as the perpetrator of the accident and is killed by the pool. After the tragedy, Daisy and Tom leave New York, and Gatsby's death goes almost unnoticed. The novel ends with Nick reflecting on Gatsby's dream and contemplating that era. In The Great Gatsby, F. Scott Fitzgerald skillfully explores several profound themes, the most prominent being the pursuit and disillusionment of the American dream. Jay Gatsby's story is a personification of the American dream. He rose from poverty through his efforts and determination, eventually achieving wealth and social status. However, Gatsby's success was not entirely the self-made rise promised in the American dream. His wealth sources are unclear, and his persistent pursuit of Daisy ultimately proves to be illusory and unattainable. Gatsby and Daisy's love story reveals the conflict between idealized love and reality. Gatsby's love for Daisy is full of idealization and beautification, but when they reunite, the complexities of reality begin to surface. Daisy's choices reflect the societal realities of marriage, wealth, and status at the time. The novel poignantly reveals the tensions and conflicts between social classes in 1920s America. Gatsby, although part of the upper class, remains an outsider. The upper class depicted in the book is filled with hypocrisy and indulgence, with blurred moral boundaries, reflecting Fitzgerald's critique of the morals and values of American society at the time. Each character in the novel clings to their illusions in some way. Gatsby's dream is to regain Daisy's love, while Daisy fantasizes about maintaining her status without losing Gatsby. This tug-of-war between ideals and reality runs throughout the novel, revealing the complexity and paradoxes of human nature. The Great Gatsby is not just a vivid portrayal of American society in the 1920s. It also inspires us to ponder, in an era of material prosperity, when our inner spiritual world faces emptiness and confusion, how do we find true self and happiness? This work transcends its time, touching on universal human nature and eternal themes, reminding us to examine our values and life choices. Through Gatsby's story, Fitzgerald shows us the collision of dreams and reality, and the struggle of individuals in the midst of social changes. At the end of this story, we are left with reflections on the future and a warm look back at the past. Thank you for watching. If this video resonates with you, please like and follow our channel. Goodbye.